Okay, so here's one that I made a couple days ago. I've got a piece on it. And you can see the shape is slightly different. See this one, it actually, you know, I pulled it around, I got it to stay. It takes a couple tries, it takes a little bit of practice. I just can't seem to do it on camera. You know, practice. It's just gonna take a few tries. You can see it's pretty smooth, but see how I can press my finger in it? It's a little light. I should have put another coating on it. It should get about 3 coats. And I probably didn't do 3 coats on here. It's also a little small, but that's okay. So what you're gonna do now, you can see where the bushing was around here. Go ahead and just poke it with your scissors. There we go. And see how it collapses with it. It's a little thin. It'll be all right though. Actually, normally what happens when this is really thin, and it'll just pop it back out again. It pops back out again. It doesn't break. Just gotta wait for it to release. I don't know if you can see that. See how it's coming off the... And what'll happen is once it comes off all the way, the gelatin bubble will pop right back out again. You just have to give it time. Try to be patient. We're going to be cutting a hole in this anyway because we need a hole in it. So let me cut it out. It's not pretty. Okay, there we go. And then look at this. All you got to do is just pop it right back up, and make sure you use something that's not sharp to pop it back out again. Just pop it out. Okay, so there we have it. And again, this one was a little thin, which is why I had a little bit of a rip, but I'll show you how to repair the rip. Okay, so there you have it. It's a little small. I have some already done up that are bigger. Notice it's a little fuzzy though. On the inside it's not very clear. Well, that is because of the rubber and the fat and stuff. So what you do is use a little bit of shortening. I'm sorry, this is cooking spray. I don't use shortening. Try not to rip this anymore. I want to show you how to repair that, which is a good thing. A little bit of cooking spray. Okay, and then a Q-tip. You can use a paintbrush, but boy, if I used the wrong one, I ended up with little paintbrush hairs all over it. It was awful. So a Q-tip works best if you can get your fan in there. And just wipe it around. See how it's going to clear up? Clears right up. Look at that. Okay. And yeah, a paintbrush works really well. You just got to make sure you use one that isn't going to leave little hairs. Okay. So you see how clear that gets? And then you'll have a nice clear crystal ball. Pretty cool, huh? Hopefully they can see that. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm going to show you how to repair this carefully. And then I'm going to show you the one I have already done. Gelatin, I need to warm it up because it needs to be more liquid. All right, so what I've got is a little rip here, well, a big rip. That's what happens when you get it too thin, but take a little bit of your, I thought I had this, your gelatin that's, you know, warmed up, okay, just a little bit now, and brush it right on the edge. Just a little bit, because remember, it's going to create kind of a wrinkle when it dries, and then hold it there. Hold it there for a few minutes. And then you can, you know, just do all the way around. Little pieces at a time. See, it's starting to stick. Okay, so that'll fix any cracks that you might have. And they're always going to be at the bottom when you're not going to see them. Okay, so let's get a good bubble. So you can see this one. This one has a little bit of a dent in it right here. This one is a little thin, and you can tell because it looks kind of, it's a little bumpy. That's a little thin, and then this is one I did that was much stiffer. And you can see it's still, you know, touchable, but it's not near as papery as this one. So you can see how smooth this one. This one also is, the last sprinkled a little bit of gelatin in and dipped it in the last dip. Now, you cannot dip it and then sprinkle gelatin on top of the balloon, because then it'll shrink around the disco dust and it looks really bad. The disco dust has to be in the gelatin mixture, okay? It's just one word of warning. The only way you could do it, once the balloon is completely dry, then you can add disco dust on top of it if you want. Okay, so here we have, you know, two of my balloons. And this one, by the way, had a crack that I repaired over on the side. It had one, I think up here is where it was. And I repaired it too, so. So there you have your crystal balls. You only need one. Make a couple though. Okay, let's get these out of the way.